Hello and welcome to the VR Master League. Today we have a hopefully exciting match beginners versus Lemon Squad. I'm joined here today with my lovely co-caster, that being NightFiree.
What's up, Bucks? How you doing?
I am doing good, and I hope you are as well, NightFiree. It is a nice, relatively cold October day.
Well, it depends on where you live, pal. It's about 70 degrees and sunny over here.
Standard weather, though.
Yeah, just your regular California life, man.
We're going into the bans now. Some kind of interesting ones coming out from these teams here. From beginners, we have a little bit of a tanker ban, and I don't think I've ever seen Lemon Squad pick tanker, so I'm kind of interested as to why they decided to choose this over, say, maybe a slightly safer subway, though. They really don't mind playing any map currently here. What do you think about
that? I mean, I'm leaning towards beginners being the favored squad here, and so I think maybe they're just taking out the dark horse picks. You know, maybe they're expecting Lemon Squad with some practice on tanker to try and come up and win the map on them. They don't want to let that happen.
Yeah, that would make sense. But from Lemon Squad, we have another kind of surprising ban, that being Quarantine, though it's also not really also surprising. Lemon Squad, they have kind of slipped up on Quarantine for quite some time. They used to be the kings of it, but beginners, they're also very impressive on it. Because taking a look at the stats here, they've won 88% of the maps of Quarantine they've played during this season. 88% of every map of Quarantine they've played, they have won, which is certainly an impressive record to hold.
Yeah, that's a good number. That's respectable. But yeah, it's obvious that Quarantine 2 is a map that if you're not prepared and you don't have good defensive strats, you can really get rolled over. You can get 5-0'd, 4-0'd pretty easily on that map if you don't have a proper defense. And I think Lemon Squad are aware of that. So a smart ban there, but I mean, you're still going to have maps like Bazaar, and Cargo's still going to be a close quarters map. It's up there. Suburbia. Probably get a downfall map here too. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that come out.
You would be correct on that assumption, as the lobby is up and we can call this first map, and your first prediction of the map is indeed correct, that being downfall for this pick. That was picked by the home team, of course, beginners. So beginners, again, they are no slouches on downfall. They've won 90% of the maps they've played, that being downfall, which I think we'll see more of that. They did reasonably well against
Globo. I guess that last loss was against Globo, huh?
Yeah.
Only that 10% loss on that map is from Globochem?
Yeah, Globochem's the only team to ever take a map of downfall off of them this season.
That's pretty wild.
That is totally insane. I wonder how long Globo's going to go undefeated for, because I don't think Beginners going to take that win, that loss rather, earlier this season lying down. They're going to try and get them back.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think they're going to be coming out feeling pretty aggressive today. I expect some strong beginners play style. It's why I'm kind of leaning towards favoring them this matchup. They're going to need all 5 over there though, so not sure who their 5th guy is going to be in there. But yeah, I'm favoring beginners here because I think they're going to be coming with a little fire.
Yeah, I would think the same, though Lemon Squad, they do have a bit of a kind of wild card. If we just very quickly hop in and take a look at the rosters for both of the teams that are actively playing during this match. We've got Archer, the brand new member of Lemon Squad. I believe he was picked up during a training session. They tried to find replacements for CZ and Solo, which unfortunately they had to leave just because life was getting busy. I believe they have their own VR arcade that they run, so they had to grab a new member just to fill out that schedule a bit. And I don't really know anything about this player. I don't know if you have any other information on him, but I think he's a bit of a wild card. Maybe beginners will have to feel Lemon Squad out before they start trying any moves.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of these new players are very strong too. Thinking of, gosh, I can't remember names. Who was it on? I think it was on Legionnaires. I don't know. There's been a lot of new faces though that we've been seeing on a bunch of teams. There's a lot of new and some new squads coming up, so they've been pretty strong. And I don't know, Archer could be a sneak peek here. Is he going to be playing for him? He is. They got him on the roster. Solo's a big loss for that team, too.
Solo was certainly a impressive player, and it's sad to see him go. Maybe we'll see him return Maybe he'll start playing from the VR arcade. I believe some people in the league, well, I believe one person as a reservist does actually play on a VR arcade every day for his main VR consumption, which is pretty insane. I saw him in the Discord talking about it, and that must get really expensive very quickly.
Yeah, but you're in the environment, you're having fun. I could see the appeal. Yeah, I'm sure it is a little pricey, but you put 2 hours in a day, you're kind of keeping it reserved somewhat and getting your practice in.
For sure.
That's dedication.
It is definitely dedication, but the lobby is now fully loaded with players, and it was Smoils, the last member of beginners. Always the last man in. That is a pattern that you can just see in every match the beginners plays. It's always Smoils that's the last one in. That is a fact of beginners.
He is a slow lumbering cat.
Yeah.
It takes his time to get where he wants to go.
Thinking back again to the strong maps that Lemon Squad might be playing later on, we have seen Downfall, as you predicted just shortly before the lobby went up, that I think we also will likely see a Bazaar and a Cargo coming out. Maybe kind of strange, but beginners, they don't really have any weak maps. Suburbia can get pretty dicey. They've only won 62% of the rounds specifically that they've played on Suburbia, and I think most teams can take them to a 4-2, 4-3, though Suburbia, beginners tends to take it overall regardless, but it can get dicey. But Lemon Squad, they're pretty good on Bazaar and Cargo. They've got 100% win rate on Bazaar so far. Maybe it's because it hasn't been picked too many times, but regardless, it is still pretty respectable.
You know, I wonder how much, as we have more access to the numbers, I wonder if we'll see how well those actually reflect the games, because I don't know if, I don't know, it's interesting to me. I feel like the game has its solo shining moments. You know, you can have players really carry squads.
Yeah,
any one team can be doing really good at any one point. So we'll see. I wouldn't anticipate a Lemons. I don't know. Like I said, I'm favoring beginners here, and even if we went on Bazaar, I think beginners would probably be looking a little bit stronger there.
I would agree with you there. Beginners, they are still the number 2 team in the world that won OC5 for a reason.
Yeah. They haven't had any roster shakeups. They're rock solid with their core 7.
Yeah, their core is unbelievably solid. They've got to have some serious schedule clearing every weekend just to make sure nothing's going to take up some time. But it appears the round is starting. We're going to be going in immediately.
Some early, rather offensive smokes. They're going to be trying to get up into some forward positions. I bet you they're going to try and get up into that little alcove up here in the middle, in front of Blackhawk.
Yeah, that is a pretty strong position, the Verd's position. I think that's where Caltrop, also known as Sextropter, is going. That is a very difficult name to say, but no, look at that. That's the El Vegas position, laying on top as Volk, on top of the helicopter. That is a nasty position.
And he's looking just over the smoke, trying to catch anybody that's going to be peeking that corner and looking into that 2-story. And I wonder if he'll get any shots off. I don't think he has a clear line of sight, but that's dangerous if those guys try and rotate around north.
Yeah, that's super dangerous. The smoke is barely blocking his vision, though it's starting to clear. Maybe he'll be able to catch someone coming down from red truck, but there's no way they'll expect him to be just here. That is such a difficult kind of place to shoot at. It's impossible to hit. It must be, though personally I've never gone up against anyone in this kind of position.
Yeah, Lemons are in a really nice defensive layout here. They're all holding tight angles. They got a good solid kill box. Polis inside center hotel, Archer in that back brothel, and I mean, they're not gonna, this is gonna be a tough entry point. I think that obviously that first point of action has to be Sextropter going down.
Yeah, I would expect that as well. Once he gets spotted, that is no way out. You can't run away from that kind of position. You either got to hunker down, hope you can get some kills, or really, you've got to kind of just suicide out and pray you make it to cover.
It's interesting, and I wonder if this spot is intentional, because there is flames on the Blackhawk to the left and right that were denying entry points there. And I wonder if those flames are supposed to be looking up to the top as well.
Maybe.
They don't, though. They don't, and he's safe there. If he falls off to the left or right, though, he's going to catch some burning damage, and he's going to be getting a little hurt there.
Yeah, burning damage is a bit of a menace, but Sextropter now, Caltrop. I'm going to call him Caltrop, that's much easier. He is looking towards that kind of southern push, and maybe he's going to catch someone. And if he does, I think beginners might be thrown into a little bit of disarray.
A couple of shots south coming out, and Caltrop instantly looks over there, and he's dialed in. Looking onto that ledge. I don't know if he's aware of where his body location is, and I don't know if it's accurate to what he's seeing in game, but he is dangerously close to falling off into that fire.
Yeah, one wrong move and he's going into a very, very hot Caltrop. But it seems the guys on the northern hotel, that being Woods, is starting to get some suppressive fire coming out. Doesn't really seem to be aimed at anyone. Maybe they spotted the man in the brothel, but with an MK18, they're not going to hit anything.
Caltrop has to be using rotation here because he's spinning 360 on a dime without losing his ADS. It looks very weird, but that's what he was doing. He's definitely using the rotation on your right thumbstick to spin. Make sure he can cover all his locations there instead of moving his body so he doesn't fall off.
Some people swear by, others not so much, but Smalls, I think, is going to be the one to deal with Caltrop here. But Caltrop, his body is kind of below the level that Smalls should be able to see him, so maybe if he doesn't pop off a shot, he's going to be safe.
I take it what Woods is firing out. He's just suppressing that brothel.
That was nasty. Not sure if you call that NightFiree, but Caltrop from this Central Hotel, Silence SV98, perfect hit, insta-killing Ken's as he tried to cross.
Yeah, and that's a loadout that wasn't normally usable. It's with the new patch, you can go silencer 12 times. I think they've ID'd him on the top, but he finds another through the window. And now he took some fire damage.
Oh no, he keeps taking fire damage. Oh, he just got out. That was close. One more fire damage and he's gone. He's burning to death.
Smoils smoking out, and he's going to try and push. I don't think Smoils has any idea that Caltrop's on the top. And now I think Caltrop, if he just focuses his attention north, he might be able to catch these two out. Sinkas and this other member pushing up, but he's not there. He's focused on Smoils' smoke.
Yeah, he needs to focus a little bit more on the northern side. Maybe he's just hoping the two men in the north helicopter building can deal with them if they try to push the objective, but if he just flips around, he'd be able to get more, and he's missing Smalls as well. He's pushing right to the sandbags. He's still too focused on the southern side.
I don't think Smoils has ID'd him yet. Smoils is looking at the Blackhawk. He has no idea the spot's possible.
A very tricksy spot. There's no way you can expect it, but Caltrop, he's being very obvious now, and there he goes, straight into the fire.
But that time, his rotation actually harmed him. His gun was kind of spinning around there and exposing himself. Smoils finally IDs it. I'm sure he's surprised that he gets a kill on top of Blackhawk.
But these northern guys now, they're starting to really make some moves. They moved all the way down. Sinkus and another man, never mind, he's dead. They're not going to work out with this push with these two men in the north helicopter buildings. It's such a strong position, even with old Woods 43 up here going to the far south hills.
Well, it's interesting that Sinkas didn't even check that bottom floor, and I mean, lo and behold, dude, I mean, we should not be surprised. 35 seconds left with beginners.
Yeah.
They were going to run out of time. Woods is backtracking way too far. He's not paying attention to his time, and Lemon Squad are going to grab their first Volk win pretty handily. Yeah,
this is going to be pretty solid unless Smalls can pull off an absolute miracle, but he definitely can't. And now it is just Woods, the last man alive. He does nab Geeker though. It's not going to be up. 15 seconds.
He's super exposed. Bike just has to peek out here the window. He'll be able to catch him, and he does. Lemon Squad go up with 7 seconds left. Take that first round.
A very smooth round for them, I gotta say. Caltrop with that position, beginners are going to be looking for that very, very closely on the following Volk rounds if we do this, if we do get this kind of objective again.
That's top spot. That spot on top of the helicopter from Caltrop was really devastating. It definitely shut down beginners. I don't think it's going to be something that's going to be able to be used again.
Yeah, that's a one-stop position right there.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll try and pull out some other ones, because we've seen, obviously just there, they use that one tricky spot throw it away. Maybe they'll use some more. Maybe we'll see them use a Verd's position, which beginners will obviously be on the lookout for. So maybe they'll think it's a heli, then they'll move it to the Verd's position. Maybe they'll push up to North Bungalow 1 next time. They could do anything really. If they keep getting objectives like this, they can just keep beginners on their toes with these kind of aggressive, unexpected, almost pub lobby type positions.
Well, and if Lemon Squad have done any research, you know, they could have gone back and watched how Global Chem dominated beginners on this map. And they also have those strategies available to them as well. If they can replicate what Global Chem did on those rounds where they dominated them up to 3-0, you know, there's all sorts of possibilities here for Lemon Squad, and they've got this advantage. It's going to be up to beginners, though. If they can kind of come back 1-1, we'll have ourselves a series.
We absolutely will. Now, going to this second round, of course, the same objective. I think Lemon Squad are going to try and avoid making the same mistake as beginners as much as possible. I think they're going to try and be a lot more aggressive than beginners ever have.
Oh, we know what I see, though. Woods. Yeah, he's trading the C4 with Killinger.
Right, it seems like Killinger's going to be the one. Maybe he'll hold it on his body. Maybe he'll set it up in the valley. Oh no, he's holding Center Hotel with it. That's actually really strong. He could potentially wipe out a few people with that.
Where is he tossing it? Right at the stairs.
Let me take a closer look at that. Oh yeah, that's a tricky position. It's so hard to deal with C4 if you do not have a grenade on you, a shield with you at all times, because you're going to need someone to block that damage, try and scout out where it is so they can disable it. But the second they see you coming up there, you're going to be in a bad way.
Lemon Squad making their way south here. And I can't... Who was that set up Killinger in the middle there?
Yes.
Yeah, he's looking over south. I don't know if he'll catch any of this, because I don't think they're going to be peeking up over this ledge. But look, I mean, Lemon Squad are rolling 4 deep here south with their 5th member pretty close in tow.
Yeah, it seems he's the one that's just hanging about by the South Bungalow area. Looks like he's going to be the one probably to watch that doorway, try and catch Killinger if he peeks out. A very common position, that Center Hotel. So they're definitely going to be spraying that, getting the smokes out when they decide to push out.
Bike trying to get some shots off on the Killinger in that the middle hotel, doesn't land any. Does draw the attention though, opens up the entry points in that south.
Indeed, and I think one more position that's going to be very useful for beginners here is Woods and Sinkus in this brothel building. We saw them play this composition against Globochem, 2 men inside the brothel. I don't believe it worked out too well for them, but it could work out against Lemon Squad's very southern stacked offense here.
Okay. You could be right, but Lemon Squad are advancing. They've crossed the South Street pretty easily. And yeah, I think that spot's not going to come into effect until objective cap.
Yeah. If they try and push that Center Hotel from the west, it's going to be equally dangerous.
What's interesting is how passive Sinkos's position is, and Woods is also not peeking. I would think Woods would be a little bit more aggressive with his angle, and Sinkos is holding the tight one. But they're both holding super tight angles onto the objective.
Yeah, they're both looking up towards the objective of North Hotel, trying to get some information if someone does come down there, which they're obviously not going to during this round. But Geeker and seemingly Archer are ready for someone that may be in this brothel building. Or maybe they're thinking also some sneaky positions in the West Bungalow.
Interesting smokes, denying vision of objective building, but I don't think it's going to help them if they try and cross. Woods could peek out that window, and I don't know, man. This is looking very coordinated. Lemon Squad are looking good. Suppressive fire's in the right windows, and Tweeka's pushing up, and he's at middle hotel.
Yeah, it is, and this is a nade from Killinger. He's going to throw it straight out Center Hotel. That could be perfect. It does down 2. Porosbill and Archer, and looks like a confirmation nade. No.
Nope, just a flash.
That could have been perfect, though. That's only 1 revive.
Smoils catches the confirm on 1. No, he actually downed 1, rather. I thought he confirmed Archer, but he didn't. Polis gets the res, and Lemon Squad are only down 1 member. Is someone trying to rotate around for that res? They are.
Want to get those revives as quickly as possible. They do have 2 minutes 20 seconds left, and I don't think they'll expect this C4. So Archer and Geeker.
Oh, no. Team kill! Rika comes up, he gets instantly shot. No C4 being used here.
If Polisville goes up, he's going up in a very big blaze of glory.
Two dead inside central.
I wonder what the point of the C4 is if he's not going to use it. He's just going to shoot everybody.
Oh, the C4 appears to have disappeared, so maybe that was a bug in the casting setup and he was exploded.
Yeah.
That would make
sense. I didn't hear any shots and he just went down, so... Utilize, but he wishes he has it now, but he finds the pick as he hops down. 3 down. I mean, Killinger dominating this Lemon Squad push. And now it's all up to Bike and Caltrop. This is going to be tough.
Yeah, it is. And wow, what a textbook Center Hotel defense there.
Yeah.
The team kill was unfortunate, but I don't think it would have changed the outcome there. He would likely have just gotten 2 with the C4 instead of 1.
That is true. That is true. I think that the only chance was that one of them would have not been picked, and then they might have found Killinger there. But interesting that there would be a team kill. They know they're pushing. They split around the middle hotel. I don't know. Smoil's picking up Bike as he tries to cost, and now Caltrop's going to try and go up against that. They don't have the smokes available. It's going to be bad news.
Yeah, their utility is very dire right now. Though maybe Caltrop's going to go for the revive. He does have just barely enough clearance to move about getting the cover. Though he did take a hit there and almost went down. That's super lucky.
Fucking leg it!
He gets out happily though.
Revive for revive. They both rezzed each other, and now they're both unrezzable. So any bullets hit here are going to down him instantly. Bite goes down, and now it's all up to Caltrop charging towards objective with 30 seconds left. This is beginner's round.
Yeah, Killinger, he did drop out of the center hotel there. Caltrop would not expect that. And there he goes, taken down. Killinger just dominating that round.
Yeah, man. That is such a savvy defense. And that little last minute razzle-dazzle jumping out the window and coming around the outside, that is just a kind of a cap on that 4-man kill inside that middle hotel.
Yeah. I gotta say, I want to see more defense like that from beginners. That is beautiful. I don't know how else to describe it. It was just totally textbook. They didn't really have any major issues. There was no failed kind of holding of angles like we saw with, I believe that was Globochem versus beginners during their Button Cup match. There was a few kind of times where they slipped up, looked away, and some guys crossed over on the other side of the map and they missed that totally, and it just collapsed their defense on downfall. But so far, not seen any of that from beginners. So maybe they've learned, maybe they're slightly more relaxed as they're not having to worry about the fact that they're going against their arch rivals.
They're evolving.
Oh, indeed. But Lemon Squad, I think they are likely going to take at least a map off beginners here, because they've done really well lately. Though they did kind of have an upset with the unit, with a lucky cap from them, leading to Lemon Squad losing it. They did beat Boss Fight. They're
looking super coordinated here as well. These guys, even with their new subs, their team effort, their team play, they're rotating all together. It's looking it's looking good to me. And so their defense looked coordinated, their offense was looking good until it was shut down by Killinger.
Definitely did.
What they can do here.
Well, we may see another little helicopter position here.
Oh, almost dunked that smoke into the chimney there.
That would have been beautiful to see. We only saw that during, I think it was, what is that super long smoke to North Hotel? What is that?
I think he wanted that second one to be on the hill. I don't know why, though. Is he going to try and run up the hill? Oh my gosh, he's already getting shot, and Killinger's already found Polis.
That's
Yikes,
exactly
the Lemon
what they
Squad.
needed.
Yeah, this is, oh no, yeah, there's the confirm.
They have, though, given away their position, so this is going to get a little dicey for them. Caltrop is starting to move up along the wall here, and I don't think they'll expect such an aggressive push from him.
Smoils spotted out Bike on North Hotel, and he catches him down. Now if he can confirm him, it's going to be a 3v5, and it'll be beginners who are looking like they're going to try and take maybe a cap here.
Maybe. But I gotta say, moving Bacon to the North Hotel, that was risky. And even with those smokes, those incredible long-range smokes, that was very risky. The kind of sight lines from the eastern side, from the south, there's so many ways that guy can get killed.
Both these rotations, both of these pushes north were very exposed moves, and you'll usually see guys instead post up inside this building because you can't get past the objective building without risking your life on spawn. You know, I think they rolled the dice there, hoping that maybe the spawn would be, I don't know, back at Old Marsoc, but...
Yes, so. But they are starting to rotate some, looks like 2 guys going around the northern side, which probably is a good maneuver as it will allow them to kind of confirm that kill. And also, Smalls managed to pick up Calchop. I'm not sure how he managed to catch him. Looks like he ran out into the open. It's a mistake against the Smoils, a watchful eye.
This might be Lemon Squad getting a little bit over aggressive after they caught that first round, and I wonder if Guika's going to try and rotate and res Bike. It's super risky to come up there, and there's only a few really small defilades to cover you.
I'm not
Very
sure what happened
fortunate
between
team
those
kill.
two.
They're in their own little world over here in the north. I don't know what's going on up here with them.
It's upside down up in the North Hotel, but Bacon, he did get up. He is now taking control of Central Hotel. He was seen, I believe, from the men in the southeast, but Bacon, he's going to be looking for both Sinkers and Woods right here. I think he might actually nab them. And yes, he does. He nabs one at least. Only down. Maybe he'll be able to get the other one.
What an unreal timed pick. How did he know to instantly run up there and peek out over that ledge? Maybe the shots from the team kill alerted him over there to that location, but either way, a really nice catch out, and they may be able to get the res with some smokes.
Does look like they are going to get it up, yeah, and they're getting out there. I think they're going to abandon this entire north side entirely. It's a bit too dangerous, a bit too rich for their tastes.
Well, I mean, they don't really have that option. 3 minutes left. Do you want to abandon that rotation and go all the way back around? You don't have time for that.
Well, it is beginners. They may think they do, and maybe they'll run out of time again.
I mean, at what point do you adapt a little bit and start to try and play a little bit faster, you know?
They will have to eventually kind of sort this out, because we saw how many times during the Globo match? Two times running out, I believe. Must have been something around that.
Yeah.
They are starting to steadily, ever so steadily, start to push up the western street here. If they go far out, that's going to be Archer who catches them. Maybe the new member, if Beginners gets a little bit reckless, is going to just decimate a few members.
We'll see. Bike's in a dangerous, like a pretty dangerously far position from objective. If they lose Archer, that's a back-end cap underneath the objective building. Easy. Easy.
Yeah.
That's a super
so
easy
careful.
2 points. Sinkos can't even get there. Bike, though, catches one out on the rotation. Almost gets Killinger, too. Starts taking some heavy shots, but ducks down behind the wall just in time.
Yeah, Bacon, though, he is calling out that he thinks he may have actually killed them, which is a bit of a misplay, as he's only down, and Beginners are going to want to get that revive. But maybe downing him and kind of delaying Beginners even more is going to be the nail in the coffin and really help them out here.
You're absolutely right. 1:25 left, and this golden opportunity may go squandered if Beginners don't continue to push. Archer could catch out Smoils in the middle of the street here if he peeks at the right time.
Clear! Don't shoot me! Move up!
Killinger seems to be wanting to keep pace with the rest of his team. He's calling them to move up here. Archer has given away his position with that flash. That could be getting very dangerous now.
Pushes up, and Smoils catches the headshots. Now they have no one on objective. Guika, he realizes this, and he comes crashing in. Bike also abandoning his north position. And now Lemon Squad super exposed. Bike catching Sinkos on the move. A huge pick. Guika trying to rotate around. Catches Woods. Can he get Smoils as well? Smoils dialed in onto an ice cream truck. Guika catches Smoils. Now it's all up to Killinger in a 1v2. Guika peeks around and catches Killinger, saving the round for Lemon Squad.
An amazing clutch from Geeka there. I can't believe that long rotation actually managed to work out.
Wow.
Beginners, they had him dead to rights on a few occasions there. He got so incredibly lucky, and the skills of getting those snapshots really helped him out there.
Dang, that is so impressive to see on the move shots from both those guys. Bike catching Sinkos out and Guika crashing in, grabbing those guys out in middle street, rotating around the ice cream truck to pick up Smoils. Wow, good rotations there. And again, Beginners not able to utilize time effectively.
Yeah, they seem to be having some major issues with keeping people in time. Killinger, though, he's doing reasonably well. He took Center Hotel. They could have started pushing up all as one there, but they still had, I believe, a guy way up in kind of the dumpster area, or maybe even the coming down from the far south from the white building, which, with 45 seconds left, is definitely not ideal.
Yeah, that's just weird. It's just weird, you know, it's like they would have had such a better opportunity on that objective if they were there with a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Then you can smoke, you can crash. I mean, and they had that. They had all the time to do that rotation. They were in a 3v5 that whole round.
Yeah.
You know, there was no pressure. No one was getting suppressed. They had full access to crash up to middle hotel the whole round. I don't know. It's just it's especially off of picks. That's when you move.
Yeah,
so
I
strange.
guess the North Hotel kind of debacle was what caused beginners to have a little bit of a delay. Because getting that revive, those two guys went to confirm that kill, get some better vision, but the revive, then one of them getting picked, they have to retreat all the way around the map. I think that really sucked up a lot of their time.
Either way, Lemon Squad, they could be grabbing this map from beginners if they keep playing like they're playing. They're looking very strong and coordinated.
Yeah, they definitely could. Maybe we might even see them take the match overall. Maybe I'm being presumptuous saying that.
No. I'm starting to tip my cap in that direction as well here. How Lemon Squad are performing. They're looking very good.
What are you doing?
I was not expecting this with the subs and the roster changes, but I mean, Archer, this new player, he's just blending right in with this squad, rotating with them smoothly, and they really rolled him in well.
Yeah, they did. Maybe the practice kind of, well, not the practice session, I guess you'd call it a recruitment session. I believe it was 2 scrims going up against each other, and they picked him out of a hastily assembled reservist team. He seems to be doing really well. Let's take a look at the scoreboard for a second. He hasn't picked up any kills, but he has been a bit of a driving force. A new player, the 5th man, as you said, very coordinated. That's, I think, more important than anything else. More than kills, coordination.
You can see him here with Caltrop. He was communicating earlier, trying to identify locations, tossing out some suppressive fire, and they have him on the LMG. You know, they know they're putting him on this rifle, not looking for picks or long-range kills. He's there to suppress and allow for them to push up easily. That's exactly what he's doing here.
Yeah, he's suppressing all the way to the northwest building, the brothel building, and the north helicopter building, which are some pretty much guaranteed spots you can expect someone to be in pretty much all the time.
And there's nobody in them. Beginners have this really interesting north-heavy defense on objective here. I don't. It could work. It could also work against them here if Lemon Squad can properly approach from the south. Again, they can potentially crash into that bottom story, but they do have almost everybody protecting that back end. I don't know. It'll be interesting. We'll see how Lemon Squad approach.
It would be very difficult for the Lemon Squad to actually go for a cap there, though maybe if they did it so quickly Killinger didn't have time to rotate, it would be possible, but man, that would be a hell of a play to see if they could pull that off.
I'm unsure. Either way, they have to start to move. Their smoke's only got about another 10 seconds left on them at most. Guika's in a relatively exposed position once this sucker dissipates, although he does have wall for cover.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's letting those smokes dissipate, actually.
Right as they're about to go out, he pushes up and catches himself into that corner. He's kind of tucked in there. And Lemon Squad are nicely pushing up. 3 minutes left, utilizing time effectively. They've got perfect smokes to take this middle hotel, and if they can get up into that top story, they might have some good command over towards the objective building.
Yeah, putting someone on the roof is both probably the best position you can take on the Central Hotel for offense, but also simultaneously the most dangerous, because you've got Smiles, his position in the basement, got Kensai's position, and also Woods in the west bungalow. That is just so dangerous. Maybe even Sinkas would be able to pick you.
Lemon Squad, I don't know if you just watched that, but they systematically cleared out middle hotel, checking all their corners and angles as a squad, pushing up heavily and hard, and they've taken it and they feel comfortable. 240 left.
Now that they're comfortable, this is going to be a key moment for them. I think their push is going to be beginning about the 2-minute mark. They just need their man in the northeast to start rotating to maybe the red truck area, then they can just come back in. But it looks like he got a little bit too aggressive rushing out like that, and he got punished because of it.
Yeah, Smoils with a really tight angle. I mean, these guys, beginners, they do not want to give up this round here, so they have just tucked themselves into the tightest of angles. Lemon Squad are really going to have to push up close to objective, although Archer, he may get picked before he gets too close.
Well, that was a risky run, but it doesn't work out on the northern side, though. Baconoff was taken down, Killinger holding a nice tight angle through that window.
Yeah. Yeah, he was waiting for that little corner peek, and he caught him out. Nice nade towards Archer, catches him out from Smoils. Polish should be able to res him.
Yeah, that was a beautiful nade. That was long range as well. This has kind of stopped Lemon Squad in their tracks. They've lost their pace. They're kind of stuck here with no utility. They used too many smokes. Geeker wasted 2 getting to the center hotel alone, and the rest of his team used the other 2 he had. They really need to start using their smokes now to come out here.
Smoils catching out and confirming Archer now. Caltrop trying to find him in the 2-story, but Smoils and that bottom floor is just devastating Lemon Squad as he catches out Polis also.
Yeah, now it's just that one man, Caltrop. I don't think he can pull it off. Maybe he can pull out some serious magic out of his magic hat here, but I somehow doubt it. But you know, this proning action that he keeps doing, well, rather the crouching action up to the west bungalow, this could really pay off for him.
Could, although I think Smoils does have his eyes trained in this general direction. As soon as Caltrop peeks up and over, he's going to be in trouble. If he rotates around the rock, he'll be safe. And then it's going to be up to Sinkus and Woods to deny entry. Woods here should be able to hear Caltrop because Caltrop only has 30 seconds left.
Yeah, Caltrop has to start running now. I don't believe he'll expect Woods to be inside here. It's not too common of a position, and it's also one that he's not popped off any shots at all from.
Rotates around, tries to catch Woods out. No dice, and beginners dominating that round, tied up 2-2.
This appears to be a little bit of a Volt trading spree. I don't think anyone's taken a Marsok round as of yet.
Not terribly surprising to see on Downfall with some highly competitive squads here. But yeah, it has been a Volk trade.
One thing I would like to mention though is I think this is kind of typical of beginners gameplay. Let's count up the revives. 2 from Geeker, 2 from Polis, 1 from Bacon, 1 from Caltrop, 1 from Woods, 1 from Sinkus. That's 10 revives in 4 rounds.
I mean, confirm your kills, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't
Shoot
seem
him
to
in
be
the head and confirm your kills, like...
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be in beginners' game plan to finish off kills. They get the pick, and they just hope they can one-shot them when they start approaching the objective.
Jeez Louise. That's an insane amount of reses. I don't think I've ever seen that many reses in a game. In one map. In one map, dude. I don't think I've seen that many reses in a whole series.
When Silent Post screamed beginners a couple of weeks ago now, maybe a month ago, we had 14 revives in a Suburbia map. 14 total. Which is just utterly absurd. Beginners, I think if we do go to Suburbia, which is possible, I think we'll see the exact same pattern of revives we've seen here on Downfall. Because they really love their nades and they really love their pre-fire. Not so big of a fan of rushing in to confirm them.
Whew. I'm excited to see what we got coming up here, man, because this has been a much tighter series than I was anticipating. Obviously, I had beginners as the favorites here, but Lemon Squad have been coming out very strong. They've been looking very coordinated. Obviously, look at all the, I mean, the reses is just tells the story of teamwork, you know?
Yeah. Though, I think Archer has been having some issues. He has been pretty good kind of effort for the team in terms of coordination and giving some suppressive fire for his team. But it's not really been working out in terms of actual getting to that final push. Normally he's getting picked before that, or picked during it even, so he doesn't really have much of a large impact, though he is helping out here and there. But interesting to see how he does develop, if he does stay with Lemon Squad and kind of evolves over time. Oh, and it looks like Polisville is going to be the one planting a C4 on objective. They're very cautious of the south.
You know, you could almost play defense drastically different. You know, like you could have Polis toss the C4 inside that room and then not even invest in defending that inside building, you know? Put everybody else outside, and if you think you're being pushed from the south, you just detonate.
Yeah. Sinkus has to be careful here, but wow, that was a tight angle pick from Bacon there. Straight from the white building, tiny little gap in the window, managed to catch him all the way at the South Twins.
Yet again, another Reservoir individual. Well, Smoils is going to try and rotate around and crash into that room and get him.
Interesting that they've not sent a single man north. Everyone is focused on the south and also on the side of defense. They've got 3 men on objective.
You know, I'm starting to see this come out the last few weeks, but more 5-man pushes and 4-man pushes have been occurring in the league. I don't know if it's because it seems to me the advantage is that if you push with 4 or 5 into one lane, you can cover all your angles, and so as soon as a shot goes out, you can catch the refrag, get your res, and keep pushing.
There is a lot of potential for the nades though, because though they did do this well here, well, so far it's going well. Maybe a bit presumptuous, but against Globachem on Suburbia, when you had those nades ring out, that's a major weakness of this kind of all-man push.
Absolutely. I think that's the exception as well. You'd never really want to have 5 men scrunched onto a corner of a building.
Yeah, that can be super dangerous. I think spacing is also a huge part of Onward. If you're too close together, you get just decimated, too far apart, and you can't get any refrags, and you'll just get picked off one by one. Finding the balance, I think it's one of the main things that separates the good teams from the likes of Globochem and likes the... Maybe also, say, boss fight, though. They do sometimes clump up and it doesn't work out. Say, who is this? Way up in the north, Smoils. He's the one rotating. Kind of weirded out that it was such a slow rotation. They're doing this with 3 minutes 20 remaining. He could have done it ages ago.
Oh my gosh. And I think he's second-guessing that rotation as he started to come back towards his team. And I mean, these guys haven't moved from spawn, quite literally. This is where they spawn. They spawn on this side of objective.
Yeah, they're still sitting in here. If it does work out, though, they're not going to be too unhappy with themselves if they do get that pick. What a tight angle again. Lemon Squad need to learn from this kind of mistake of peeking the windows here and just give up on it. Just need to sit there, defend it, not peek out.
Yeah. Woods now on that top of the hill catching some fire, but he'll be alright. And this is a really nice little defilade Woods is sitting at here. And I feel like some of these spots have been put in stealthily. Like, I don't remember a lot of these little bends and dips in this hillside, but Woods is utilizing them effectively, suppressing in, and the rest of the squad's pushing up south.
Lemon Squad did manage to get a pick onto Sinkus as he started to move up a bit, but Kensai is now aiming for the central hotel with a nade. Archer does tag Woods up there. Beautiful curved in nade as well. Does catch Bacon.
That was a lovely toss. It instantly killed him as well because it was tossed right on top of him.
Oh no. Oh, if that was another nade, that would have been disgusting.
Just the smoke though, and it may actually help Caltrop because I don't know if Kensai is going to be ready for anybody inside that little shed there.
I don't think so, but we also have Smoils now. He's at the west bungalow. He's moving way up. He might be a sneaky capper.
Kensai's in. He gets picked instantly. Was not ready for that. Caltrop rotates around, catches out Killinger on a trade.
Killinger is still up though. There is no way Smoils can go for a revive. So he is going to give out that very, very important info that they killed the White House. But now it's just Smoils against 3 men, all piled on objective. I don't think his hopes are very high here.
Yeah, a minute and a half left. There's C4 on the inside of that building. And they have Guica looking on the outside, dialed in here to this middle hotel. So it is going to be a tough approach for him. He's going to have to do it soon, too.
Oh, if he gets too aggressive again. He keeps getting too aggressive, peeking out like that, and it's not working out for him. I guess he didn't expect, I'm not sure how you could expect Smalls to be up in the central hotel here, considering that everyone else on Beginners was up in the south for the longest time. And if Archer also gets too aggressive, my god, this is not ending well. Can Smoils do this?
Lemon Squad are throwing this away quite literally as they fling themselves out into the open now. Polisbill, is it his turn to come flying around the corner, exposed to Smoils? Smoils can't catch him out in the trade, and Lemon Squad squeak by with another Hulk win.
That would have been a fantastic clutch if he actually managed to pull it off, though. Maybe if he had kind of stayed in cover and just waited for him to come around the corner, maybe he got a little bit too greedy, tried to go for a cap, maybe got a bit of cold feet, because there was only 45 seconds remaining when he got that pick onto Archer, so guess it was just kind of an uncertainty. You're damned if you kind of sit there, damned if you don't. It's a hard choice to make.
Yay. We are into a tight series here with 10 revives coming in. They just keep flowing.
Yeah. But Smalls, he's been wrecking them so far. The revives, I think, have helped him out. Like we saw during that triple kill of his when they were starting to push out of Central Hotel. He just picked them one after another, because it only took a bullet to take them down. So I guess it is working out in beginner's favor, regardless of the fact they're not getting the picks.
It's just extra work you have to do. Extra fighting. But they are winning those extra fights, and yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny to think about. They basically killed everybody. They've almost killed like double the people, you know? In theory. They've downed like this team twice in one round.
Now we are going to be hopping in. This is the 6th round, or rather the 5th round. 6th round. 5th, yes. 6th. Yeah. Yes, it is the 6th. Don't worry about me, I am perfectly fine. Oh, this could be dangerous.
I don't see
They are crouched and low.
No,
Beginners didn't
go.
spot him. Gillen just called out that it was all clear. This could be a major misplay for them.
I wonder if Caltrop's going to catch any out. Nope, now Lemon Squad are ID'd and beginners know right where their spawn is. We'll see if they're lucky to get any on the rotations.
Unfortunately not. Bacon tried to catch someone going up to the white building up in the far south, but it just didn't work out. And Lemon Squad, they need to move out of spawn. They're going to get trapped here, but then again, it is beginners. They're not a fan of the kind of global chem entrapment. They should be relatively safe.
Yeah, it is kind of funny. You say they're going to be trapped, but even with spawn, knowing where the spawn is, Woods is almost the only one that's looking over there.
It's interesting to see that Lemon Squad, they've got the 2 guys going around the eastern side. Maybe they're trying for a north and south pinch here. They'll put their guys up, kind of standard, Central Hotel, 3 guys in there, 2 going around the south. They'll push in at the same time, lots of smokes, the whole building pretty much just under the cover of clouds. And they'll just hope it all works out. But they're using a lot of smokes already. One of them...
The perfect one on the corner.
One of them
That's a good one, I think. Yeah, that's on the corner they're going to... Yeah, the one over there in the middle of the street, not sure what that's about.
Yeah. Bit of a long-range one. Well, an attempt of a long-range one from Geeka.
But yeah, once they have control of Middle Hotel, it's kind of a different ballgame. Lemon Squad may be able to sort of peek up and catch some picks.
They'll just suppressive fire. They do have plenty of time, though. I think the main limit of Lemon Squad, as I said, is just these guys in the east getting round to the south, dealing with white building. The quicker they do that, the quicker this push is going to happen. But getting that pick now, they can just rush straight into behind the beginners now. This is their chance. They need to move quickly now. They can just take beginners totally by surprise.
Dude, what is up with these on-the-move shots from both of these teams? Both these squads are just pulling off crazy snapshots. That Guika shot into a White House on the run.
They've been training for it, I bet. That's a very important kind of shot to get. Not sure what that nade was for. It landed in the middle of nowhere. Not even sure who it was aimed towards. Archer maybe needs to brush up on his nade throwing skills. Very difficult to actually throw them, as I'm sure you know.
Oh yeah, it's a challenge, and especially, you know, if you're not, it's a little finesse too. It's not just a straight up. If you can throw a grenade in real life, you can throw it in VR. You have to be used to throwing it into VR and finessing it. It's a little bit different, you know. Feels especially with Oculus.
Yeah, Oculus ones can be a little bit sketchy. No accelerometer. Feels bad.
Yeah.
But the guys in the south, they are starting to pick up their pace quite dramatically, though they have kind of ditched one up in the kind of Marsok area. Well, that was a really useful headshot on the woods there. There's only one man in that dark room now.
It's going to be hard. They have to smoke, and that's what the call-out is. Bike's trying to get the smoke onto objective. Here they come. They're coming in.
That is coordinated.
Dang!
That is what they need.
What the heck, dude? From the hill, he chucks that nade all the way down, almost perfectly in front of Killinger. Not good enough, though. Killinger gets Archer.
They do not want to cap it under any circumstances. Kensai wasting his utilities, though. At this kind of opportunity, you need to throw the nade. You need to make sure they can't just rush up and take you off guard. Nothing else matters. But Bacon, he's also taking down Killinger. This is exactly what they need. There's only one man left now as Smoils goes down. Is Geeka going for the revive there? That is so risky. Or that's Kensai and it doesn't work out. And Lemon Squad, man, they actually take that map.
Wow, beginners getting picked early. I mean, man, these score lines are. Well, I don't know. My words are not coming out good because I was not ready for this.
Yeah, that was strange to see, to say the very least. I could not predict that beginners would take that. Oh man, because Lemon Squad, they don't do so hot on Downfall. Typically, looking at the kind of history, they've only won 60% of the times they've played Downfall, unlike beginners, and obviously 90%, 100% before Globochem. So I guess they're just in the zone right now. Globochem, Lemon Squad, feeling good. Beginners, not so hot.
Yeah, this was a possibility, you know, in my mind that maybe they had looked at their footage, done their homework, and were going to come at beginners with strats akin to Globochem, or just kind of come at them full force and actually take the map. And I mean, they did so in a very dominating fashion. They were looking very coordinated, despite having a new player on their squad.
Yeah, I gotta say the coordination, that's certainly impressive. I think they may have actually practiced Downfall, because, you know, you practice maps your week, and that's a fact of nature. So they must have practiced out these final pushes, because of the things leading up to those final pushes. Not really too important, can be very situation dependent, but these final pushes, they're dead on, and they must have practiced them because it's just working out perfectly.
Yeah, that was looking very strong. I'm interested to see what we're gonna get on this next map.
In fact, I can introduce that to you right now. Of course, we have the bans Quarantine from Lemon Squad, Tanker from Beginners, and the second map is going to be Bizarre.
This is a pick by Beginners?
This is a pick from Lemon Squad.
Wow, it's interesting. It's so strange because they banned Quarantine. And if you're going to have a map that's similar in any way to Quarantine, I feel like Bizarre is probably your next closest. Maybe Downfall, and they just won on Downfall, so that Quarantine ban has thrown me for a loop, I guess.
Guess so. Maybe they've not had time to practice Quarantine, because their positions are very well known on it. Every team has practiced and learned their positions just because they were the kings of it for so long. So they must know that Beginners, they have counter strats. Beginners loves to make counter strats. They've got counter strats for counter strats. They have everything. So they're going to be ready for any kind of positions that Lemon Squad would normally pull out in Quarantine. So I guess it is just the safe maneuver to ditch all of that and just hope for the best on some slightly less well-known maps. Well, for Lemon Squad, well-known. Man, I still can't get over the fact that Lemon Squad actually managed to pull that off. They were looking so coordinated, as we've said, and Beginners, I think we, during the VR Respawn episode with that interview with Glowbook, and they said that Beginners, they are kind of a bit weak if you don't really give them any opportunity for, if you don't make any mistakes that gives them the opportunity to cause kind of you grief. So I guess Lemon Squad, they just didn't really cause any major mistakes and allow them to take that. Maybe a bit of a massive weak point, and the fact that they're not really pulling out their fast play like they've been practicing in scrims, which is interesting. You'd think that if things don't work out like they did on that map, they'll actually have to pull something new out of the bag. But they didn't do that during the Globochem match, and they're not doing it now. Maybe they're just waiting all of these tactics, keeping them in the bag for the championships in December.
That's an interesting theory. I'd agree with you, but doesn't that first place matter? Don't you get a bye if you're first in the season? Or am I wrong on that?
I'm not sure,
I mean,
you know.
I'm sure you're seated better.
Yeah, you're definitely seeded
Right?
better. Maybe they want to go. Maybe they want to go through the semifinals.
Yeah, I don't. It's it is interesting, but I don't think by any means they're taking it easy. You know, I still think that I don't know. Maybe we're just seeing beginners in a bit of a slump here. We're also being a bit presumptuous. You know, who knows what's going to happen as we dive into this second map. Beginners could be coming out and just dominate it, take it 4-0, roll into that third map, and be looking very strong.
Yeah, anything could happen. But man, I didn't realize just how long that downfall map took. It's been an hour since we started for a single map. This is going to be a long one indeed.
Ay, ay, ay. We are waiting for our 5th from beginners. I wonder if they're going to be still holding the same 5. Lemon Squad. Still rolling with Archer, Guika, Polis.
They did drop
know,
Sinkas.
How... Explain this to me. How do you think that his name is Bacon?
I think he just likes bacon.
I know, but it's B-E... Do you know how bacon is spelled?
Bicon. We can call him Bike. That's his nickname
That's
now.
what
The
I've been
official
calling
VRML
him.
nickname.
I mean, we could call him Bacon, too. I mean, Bacon could be his nickname, too. It's up to you, really.
We can call them both. We can interchange them as we please.
I think if we called him Bacon, it would be more of a nickname than Bike, because I think, if we're going to be accurate here, Bike is the proper pronunciation.
Just thinking about the roster you talked about with beginners, I think we're going to see, obviously, Sinkus maybe dropping out, and then I think we might see Cushberries come in. Maybe. Maybe we'll see the other Woods brother come in. They do seem to swap out occasionally. I think I have seen them actually swap Sinkus out for Cushberries on Bazaar a few times in the past. Maybe it was just coincidental due to tech issues. Maybe Sinkus only had limited time, but maybe it is because Cushberries just is good on Downfall compared to Sinkus. Good on Bazaar, rather.
I'm unsure. It could be some tech difficulties. I also wonder if we're in some sort of timeout. Some teams have been utilizing that. And that sort of helps teams recuperate a bit. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe beginners are breaking out one of those. I'll phone into production and see if we can get information.
While we're waiting for that information, we'll go into a very short, hopefully very short break, just to give you some relaxing sounds of the VRML, and we'll be back with it in likely the next 2 minutes. Alright, it appears that we are back and we're hopping into this round now. Some disturbing news coming out from the match here. A reservist on the side of beginners has joined the Big Cheese.
That's crazy, man. I mean, we were talking earlier, they have a tight roster. They only run 7. They don't have a full 8. And, it seems to have been affecting them here.
Oh, hold on. False alarm. Smiles is being Smiles.
Okay.
And he's changed his name to the Big Cheese.
Okay.
I think that's what the holdup was. He just wanted to change his name. We're going to murder him in silence later on tonight.
I wasn't. I certainly hope that wasn't the holdup. I'm gonna still call him Smoils. Just the name change doesn't change your name.
All right, so Bacon now, or that nade. That was a bit of a dangerous nade from I think that was Woods there from the 2-story, but Bacon's got a nice position.
He threw that prone.
Woods has a very impressive spine.
Maybe he put it like threw like a catapult, trebucheted that grenade out there.
A hand catapult is just strapped to his wrist, allows him to kind of detonate nades, perfect timing, and everything.
Bacon peeking, not catching anybody inside those windows. Killinger's holding that back window, not the one that's more forward he was shooting at.
So far, Lem's got kind of doing a typical offense for Bazaar here, for this objective at the very least. They're kind of not really doing much, though Woods is certainly wrecking from that side position. It's so strong. You really can't just let him stay there.
Especially the angle he's peeking. There's like, you're not going to win that trade. You're going to hit the pole, you're going to hit the wall next to him. It's just not going to happen. I feel like that little sign almost needs to be penetrable or something.
It is quite strong indeed. These guys coming around the east now, they've got free reign. They can totally move to the far south side and just pincer beginners, assuming they can deal with the Sinkas sitting in his usual spot just in the little doorway.
Yeah, this is another really tight defense from beginners. They've been holding super tight Ds. Everyone's really close to objective, holding tight angles. I think the farthest one away is Sinkas. See how it pays out again. It's up to Lemon Squad to attack it and put the right smokes in the right places.
Indeed. Bacon is looking for Woods. He really wants him dead. He's looking trained on the right side of the sign. If he stands up though, it's going to be Killinger who takes him down first. He's just barely looking out the window and it's impossible to see anyone from that kind of tight of an angle.
Oh, I think he might have just seen Killinger peeking that window. Nope. Gosh, I just wonder. I don't know if these guys saw each other here.
I don't think they could have. It was just far too tight of an angle. The Woods, he gets too aggressive and gets headshot. Should not have peeked out from the comfort of that sign.
Bacon, the trades. Killinger almost tries to get the refrag, and Bacon crouching into the corner just in time.
A very big sigh of relief there. He's happy he made out of there alive.
That was clutch. I wonder if they're gonna now lose Sinkas. Oh no, Killinger catching Bacon out on the refrag. That was very important, because if he didn't get that, it was gonna open up the push on that west side for him.
Though the southern side, the push on the south and the eastern side, this is going well. They're up in the south, Archer, Geek, and also the last member, Calcher. Well, last member to name. They're ready to push in from the south now. I think if they just try and coordinate their smokes like they have on Downfall, they could possibly just take this back, clutch it, 4v3.
They could indeed, and if Sinkas gets caught out rotating in this backside, he also could get fragged. I don't know if Guika has his eyes drawn there.
What the fuck?
Geek is confused by something. He popped off some shots and immediately ran away. Don't know what he saw.
I don't either. Was he shooting, maybe trying to shoot through the hole at the window?
It would have been a strange shot indeed, but Calchop, he's under a fire here, and Smiles is going to be the one to catch him underneath the car there. That is such a deadly weapon when it's in the hand of Smiles. Prone as well, you just trip over him and instantly die. And this southern push is starting to come into effect. All of these smokes, here they go. Geeka does manage to take down Sinkus, and in come the rest of Lemon Squad.
It's a 3v2, and I think Archer knows Kensai's tucked into the corner. No, he doesn't. Archer comes crashing around. Kensai looks out and catches Archer. That's a huge pickup into a 1v3 now, all up to Guika. He can make the right moves, though. He has a minute 15.
Yeah, there is no rush for Geeka right now. If someone starts getting a little bit too aggressive, he does know that Kensai's in that kind of doorway now because of that nade he threw out. Not going to do anything but give away his position. So if he just makes the right moves, as you said, maybe goes into the southwest courtyard where Killinger is, maybe he'll be able to take this back, clutch it. It'll be a hell of a clutch.
Yeah, he's trying to pick out anybody towards objective right now. I think he's looking for Smoils, and he should be aware of Kensai's position in the corner since he did lose a teammate to that position.
Keeping his eyes trained over there, though. He's looking away towards the western side.
Ooh.
What are you doing, Giga? This will not end well. And it doesn't end well. And Kensai is the one that picks him up after all. How did he not expect him to be in there? That was all of the warning signs.
Especially after the shots going off. I mean, he should have heard the audio cues. Maybe he just didn't hear it, drowned out by his own gunfire. I'm unsure, but... Ooh, these rounds are slow and lengthy, to say the least.
Yeah, they're taking up the full 6 minutes. Definitely a beginner's match, that is for certain. It has a certain charm to it, I find. Somehow, you know, thinking about it, Downfall, they still managed to stay somewhat action-packed, even through the full 6 minutes, which is rather an accomplishment, honestly. Full 6 minutes of action, that's a medal you require.
Well, I mean, so think about it. When you frag everybody twice, that means you're killing 10 people in a round, and so it's at least like 1 or 2 kills a minute. Yeah, it's pretty good action.
I suppose the revives work in our favour then. Maybe not towards the teams, but it does work towards our favour.
keeps the gunfire flowing, that's for sure.
Does indeed. But with this objective, the same objective at the ice cream truck, what do you think Lemon Squad is going to try and aim for here? They have kind of worked out with the tricky positions that Caltrop took in the first round of Downfall, but do you think they'll try and bring out more tricky positions like that during Bazaar as well? I think they may try a few, like I know Beginners sometimes crosses Smiles over the road into the southwest of the main Bazaar, but I don't see Beginners trying that, though I do see Lemon Squad doing that. But what do you think?
Yeah, it's a very sickness move to cross street and try and get up to the these cement bags by Bazaar and kind of take that forward aggressive position. It could be a thing we see here Lemon Squad do, but we'll see what they opt for. I don't know. It's risky for sure.
Is risky. And that that northwest spawn rather, is also pretty risky. If Beginners wants to, they could cross straight over, but it's also Beginners and they will definitely not cross straight over. I imagine they'll probably smoke it out, try and get a pick before they do anything, and just cross over silently on the western side.
No really over-aggressive defensive spots. Pretty standard, really. Polis here does spot the Beginners out, and look at this. Very early smokes. What am I seeing?
Did I just curse Beginners and they're playing aggressively?
They are. The smokes are coming out hard and heavy, albeit they're not the greatest smokes. They're coming out.
They are indeed, though, Beginners. They may get a loss due to Killinger and Polis Bone, but never mind. It's Lemon Squad instead are the ones that get picked, and now this is looking like a really good push. Though unfortunately, it's Sinkas that gets counter-fragged by Caltrop, and now he could be a major thorn in the side of Beginners here as they go for this push. As Bacon is the one that unfortunately gets taken down. What? Yeah, Killinger is on objective. This could work out.
He's
this could
capping.
be a cap. This could be a 3-0.
I just no idea.
There's no way this will work. Archer has no clue, nor does the other man. They do get the cap. And that is a clean round. An amazing rush from Beginners, so unlike them, but it works out oh so well.
And that right there, I think... I don't know, that was the surprise that we were expecting, but from the other squad instead. Coming out of Beginners instead of Lemon Squad.
I guess they got very sick of us hinting that they may take the series, and instead they're coming straight out.
Well, I say, you know, Beginners could come into this one and just dominate it, you know, and then if they can ride this momentum, they can really take that third map. But why don't they play like that more often? Because that was so they can coordinate so well. They're a team that's been playing so long together
Yeah.
that they know how to move. They know how everybody moves. They all have really great shots. Like, they're a team that can push like that, and it worked so well. That was such a strong, aggressive move out of them.
Thinking about coordination, though, I think that round there highlighted the issues with a brand new player in the squad, Archer. They had their entire team on the objective wiped, and there were no calls about that happening.
Yeah.
Archer should have been on his tablet watching for that, but he had no idea until they had already capped.
I mean, that's the dangerous thing about a really hard push like that, too, is if you can grab those early picks and keep pushing forward hard, you can completely surprise the squad like that. I mean, if you're not checking your pad constantly, you don't have the pad down in front of you, it's going to be, you're not going to see it. You know, you're gonna assume, okay, there's some trades happening there. I'm holding my angles. Lo and behold, you're done in a minute.
Yeah. Man, the North objective, this could be also Lemon Squad's attempt to come back, though it would have to be a hell of a push. Maybe they try for the same rush, because it did work out, obviously, for beginners last round. I would like to see a counter rush. A rush straight into a rush next round from the opposing side. Because beginners, I don't think, would really expect that. Lemon Squad hasn't been doing any rushes lately. League general, or just in this specific match.
Well, I think we could just missed Smoils rotating in here to these stairs. He's prone and could catch out a lot of this Lemon Squad push if they decide to crash into that little bizarre courtyard area.
They could, but that is a very common position. If maybe Lemon Squad, judging by this kind of maneuver that Bacon and Geeka are doing, maybe they're trying for a northern focus here.
Yeah.
That would be very interesting to see. I don't think any team really does a northern focused offense on this map, but my god, look at beginners' positions. Every single one of them on objective, with the exception of Smoils, who's a little bit off, but still pretty much right next to it. That is unbelievably tight.
Yeah, they really are putting heavy focus on no caps, and it's working. I mean, they are ultimately denying the pushes, the late pushes from Lemon Squad. I don't think, although Lemon have been utilizing their time relatively well, every push they try and toss at beginners is not working.
It's like hitting a brick wall, and I think that's what Globachem was warning people about, is that if you give beginners a mistake to kind of work off of, they will just snowball it from there, and it will end with you losing that round. That is something that you can't let up with beginners. You have to keep staying perfect. The second you slip out of that, you're done. Oh, Calchop, he's being risky here. He may catch Smoils, but if he kind of peeks his corner wrong, he may be the one that gets picked instead. But it is Smoils, and it is a trade between the two members, though. Smoils is alive and can call out that confirmed kill on his side.
Yeah, it could cost Woods his life, though. As he rotates out, he's not expecting these members over on the north, and if we could catch his one out, Killinger and Sink Us could cause some havoc here from their two-story positions, but they're not really eyes on over here.
Yeah, they've got the suppression from Polispill, keeping them nice and occupied. Killinger's got his gun down, and it punishes him. Getting the headshot from Bacon. He should not have had gun down after the shots came from north.
Kensai rotates out. He almost goes down. Beginners, they're losing members hot left and right as Archer finds one. He's being effective this round, and Sinkas, he's panicking, rotating towards objective. The smokes are coming out. Maybe Lemon Squad looking for a cap.
They could very much be looking for a cap. This is what I wanted. This is what a rush looks like. A counter rush for the rush as Sinkas goes down as well, but unfortunately, it's just going to be a kill instead. It would be a very hard cap to get considering Sinkas was right on it, but man, they definitely had potential right there. Nice coordination again.
That north push really coming in clutch once Smoils was down, and then finding those couple of picks on the backside, huge for that win there. And we'll see if beginners can grab themselves another Marsoc map, if they'll play it aggressive, or if we're going to go back to a slow pace and maybe let Lemon Squad crawl in.
Possibly changing up your pace is a pretty useful thing to do. If you kind of spook beginners, they really are not a fan of that. If you go quick, then you go fast, you go quick, then you go fast. It kind of throws them through a hoop, and they're not a big fan of it. You can really take some maps off of them if you do that, and it's not too big of a part of your repertoire that they have developed counter strats for. If you keep things unpredictable like Globachem loves to do, that's a major weakness of beginners.
Man, just looking at that beginner's push again. So well coordinated. They looked just like the. I mean, that was the OC5 team right there. That was like, they turned it on almost. I think maybe they've been. I don't know, taking. Maybe you're right, dude. Maybe they have been sort of taking it easy, not really playing at their max effort these last couple of maps, the last few series.
Possibly. I'm seeing if I have a replay for that rush. Just taking a look, and yes, I do. You're seeing it now. That beautiful coordinated rush. You got Killinger coming in on the objective. You know, Kensai takedown Bacon, and the other two members. 11 Squad still had a guy in the far east. That was a cap against 3 alive members of 11 Squad. They just couldn't get around the objective in time. They weren't even aware. Very nice. And we're hopping in to this 4th round now, or the 5th round.
5th, yeah. What could be the final one too of this? Well, of the map if beginners can take it, and then we go into that showdown 3rd map to decide the series. I wouldn't hate that.
I wouldn't either. That would be a very exciting one. I wonder if Lemon Squad's going to opt for a more aggressive defense here. No. Looks like they're kind of keeping a standard defense here. One going to the east, one going towards the west. The other guy's kind of just sitting on objective. Where is their 5th man? Way up in the northwest. That's a strange one.
I think he's going to go prone up on that 2-story. And keep his eyes trained into this northeast corner once he decides that northwest is not really too busy. At least that's what he will have to do if he wants to shut down the beginner's push.
Yeah, beginners, I think every team should really know this at this point, is that beginners, they love to push through the east side on this objective. I don't think I've ever seen them not push through the eastern center. It's always the east, every single time. Though it can be very difficult to counter that, because beginners is obviously beginners. They've got their practice down to a T. They don't really make too many mistakes on them, though occasionally they do have some slip-ups if you can put a spike in the wheel, so to speak, at the very start of them, but...
Dude, what drastically different play styles that beginners are showing here. Like, coordinated, 10 smokes, hard push, grabbing picks early, getting in there, grabbing a cap, works out great. Next round, grinding halt.
Yeah.
Slow it up, spread it out, find your angles, hold them, we'll push later.
Yeah, but man, Geeka's position here, this could be so good for Lemon Squad. If you take a look at the angle he's holding right now in first person, he has such a tight angle.
Doesn't take shots on wood, sees him cross. Now when he's exposed, catches the confirmed kill.
Exactly what they need, and he's also getting a nade ready, throwing it out over towards the kind of blue room area-ish. Not going to do anything though. If he starts pushing aggressively, this could work well for him. They won't expect that.
Let's see what sort of route he opts for. Getting a little... I think he's getting aggressive the other way. That could work out for him too, but maybe just going to tuck in and with that one pick be satisfied.
It's a good safe maneuver. They do want to ideally take this to a at least a 4-2. They would like to do that. They have a pretty good setup right now with that pick from Geeker, obviously. Their defense is not too bad, though maybe Bacon's position is finally going to come into use here. There is one man coming from the far southwest up towards the northwest. If Bacon hangs about here just a little bit longer, he could be the one to take him down.
One of those spots that you just are always wondering, is it worth me holding here?
Maybe Bacon will have some kind of a flash of inspiration that he knows he has to hold this a little bit longer. Or is it going to be one of those moments where you go, oh, there's nobody here, might as well back off now.
Oh my gosh, he is backing off. And he's going to be in this huge exposed lane if Sinkas pushes up fast enough.
Oh, that is unfortunate. I think Sinkus actually saw Bacon as well backing off. And yes, he did, and he takes him down. That's so unfortunate. Rotating at just the wrong time. There's no way he could have known that Sinkus was pushing there.
I can hear the fits of rage coming out right now. I was holding that angle for 3.5 minutes. Nobody showed up, and then as I cross, I get shot in the back.
Sad times. I
I'd be
can't
so
believe
mad.
beginners are still in this eastern side. They're still here. They haven't made any moves just yet.
2 minutes.
Coming.
It's unbelievable how long they hold angles for. What do they expect to happen?
No, but it does work out occasionally. In this case, it did work with Sinkus' rotation, though.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sitting here criticizing beginners. They're up 3-1. They
Yeah,
found that pick. They're
it
looking
has worked
good.
out a bit. Kenso is trying to clear Geeka's building now. This could be dangerous for Geeka right now. There's no way Kenso will expect him to be in there, I believe. Oh, this nade though, this could be good. I think he does know Geeka's in there. That's perfect.
Wow.
It's threaded perfectly. And it does take him down. How did he know he was there?
It is a common spot. And maybe he heard some shifting of footsteps or something through the wall. But yeah, that is a real savvy toss and catches him out.
Absolutely. And now it looks like Sinkas is starting to move up the northern side now. He's got the smokes out over towards the objective building. And he's looking for someone trying to peek out.
Minute left.
This is looking to be beginner's push now. 50 seconds left. If Lemon Squad can just hold it a bit, this could be their round win. But beginners, they're so hard to defend against.
I don't know if the defensive lineup is good enough here. Caltrop, if he goes down, it's going to be trouble. Archer dialing in. Misses Sinkos on the back end rotation. Killinger picking up Caltrop inside. They're looking for the cap. Beginners want to take this 5-1.
Killinger is going for the cap here.
This is going to be it. 5-1. Polis isn't pushing up.
3 men capping, and it takes so long, but they do get it. And that is a 5-1. That's an unbelievable comeback from downfall.
Wow, beginners with the slow and fast play dominating on Bazaar. Really running it back, and we'll see if they can take the momentum into the series deciding map, which I'm very curious to see what that will be. Suburbia? Cargo? If it's Cargo, I don't know what's going to happen.
I don't know either, but man, that was only about a 20-minute map, the entirety of Bazaar. That's very quick.
Yeah. Yeah, in comparison to our hour-long downfall map, that's a nice change of pace.
Indeed, but that 5 points, I think that's going to put a dent in Lemon Squad morale, especially 5-1. If they can't snap out of any kind of bad mental state they may be in right now, it's just going to spiral out of control. But if they aren't in a bad mental state, if they are feeling good still happy about that first map win, I think they could take it. They just need to make sure they don't give any kind of opportunities to beginners as usual, like they did on Downfall, and it's just going to be taken away by them. I think this is their map here. Let's take a look at what it is in the war room. I'm putting bets on Cargo. See, we're loading in now.
Suburbia.
Suburbia, okay. My bets were wrong.
Remind me on how they fared against Globochem here. I don't remember.
Did they play Suburbia?
I thought they did. Maybe
Oh yes, they did. It was
thinking of an SMC
not so hot.
match.
4-0.
Oh yeah.
Suburbia is one of beginners' weak maps. Well, relatively weak. They're still quite strong on it, but most teams do manage to take 2 to 3 points off of them. The unit made it to a 4-3. The beginners did take it overall. Their win rate on it pretty high, but the round kind of percentage is kind of deceptively close. They've got to be careful, otherwise Lemon Squad really do stand a chance of taking this.
Yeah, they really do. Is his Lemon Squad's map pick, or yeah?
Might have been beginner's map pick since they're on Marsoc.
You're right.
It's an interesting choice, picking a map that you're somewhat weak on. I guess Cargo, not exactly much better.
Yeah. One of the options, if you both agreed on subways being in the pool, but I don't think that's something that's in the table.
Yeah, I don't think either of these teams are going to want to play Subway tonight.
Oh boy.
Thinking about how they've been playing the last kind of season, I think beginners taking Suburbia, it could work out well though. If they continue to use what we saw on Bazaar with those, that I believe it was 92 seconds, I saw someone say it in chat, 92-second cap. If they keep doing that on Suburbia, they could run away with this, because Lemon Squad, I don't think they know how to deal with a rushing beginners. I don't think anyone does just yet.
It's because it's so rare. It's like spotting a, I don't know,
Rainbow
very rare
whale.
animal. Oh, okay.
Rainbow whale with Smoils riding on its back valiantly into battle. Picture that in your mind, everyone. Picture that.
Oh, I don't think we'll need to picture it in our mind for much longer. Hopefully that becomes a reality.
Yeah, that's going to be an Easter egg. Smoils is going to draw it up.
And if you want to see it, all you got to do is head on over to the Onward VRMasterleague.com website, where you can sign up to join the community, get onto the Discord links, the Twitch links, the Twitter links, all your information available for you at a one-stop shop for Onward fun.
Is indeed. Appears that most of the teams are almost fully readied up as well, so we should hopefully be hopping in shortly. Maybe we will see a first round rush. Let's take a look at what kind of objective we actually have starting off here. Hopping in prematurely to the gameplay screen. This is a red car. A red car objective, hey. Rushing this one can be very rough, but maybe beginners will try for their kind of western cross. That's worked out pretty well for them on occasion. I think it did almost work out against Globochem, though obviously it didn't win them the round. So it'd be interesting to see.
One thing you gotta watch out for is the new spots that are available to you. These little pottery spots where you can climb up and look over these wood fences. See if Lemon Squad utilize those. I expect them to.
Yeah, we saw not Globochem, but it was beginners take that spot, and it was so powerful. He managed to tag Raphael, take him down, and that was a very useful pick, though. Again, didn't help him out too much.
Polo's trying to climb up. He's there, and he's looking over the fence. Look at Caltrop, too. He's a bush monster as well.
A standout position of Caltrop, I believe. He really loves that bush. But really, looking at their defense here, this is kind of just standard of Lemon Squad. Lemon Squad, they do appear to be expecting a western kind of push here. They've kind of given up the close west. I think if they, I think they're going to let beginners cross over first. They just right from there.
This is so strange. This is the exact same push they did. I mean, and that's not strange, but this is the exact same push they did against Globochem. And if you remember correctly, the rain of nades down onto them absolutely denied entry here. And I'm starting to think that that's a strong defense strategy for this objective. Just dump nades over to this east side if you don't see any action immediately. Or sorry, on the west side if you don't see any action on the east.
Yeah, I think that's one also major problem with the beginners again, is that they're quite predictable until they pull out one of those secret tactics where they start doing some rushes. Unless they do that, they are very predictable, though again, it is hard to actually work off of that. Even if they're predictable, they are still highly skilled, and it can be difficult to really deal with that.
We can really expand on the theory here that beginners are holding back a lot of strats these last two games. Because you're right, man, when we think about it, that push from beginners, that was uncharacteristic. That was something that they've maybe been holding on to and practicing in secret. And I'm starting to think that maybe they got other plans in store for other maps, but they're just trying to win these with the meta run-of-the-mill stuff they've already shown.
Possibly, but this is a uncharacteristically fast push as well. We're 4 minutes in, the smokes are flying, the nades are flying. They're looking ready to go right now. Oh no, Kensai. Kensai nades himself, and he's going to have to get revived. That's not what beginners wants.
He's fortunate he got away far enough from that nade, because that could have killed him instantly. And I don't know if these smokes are good enough either, as Bike catches Syncost over on this side, and he could be a real threat to the push if they don't catch him out.
Yeah, Killingelo, he does nade Caltrop with a perfect one straight onto its location. He gets confirmed as well. But unfortunately, the refrag comes from Archer, and so far, the defense of Lemon Squad is holding strong.
4v3, Kensai's pushed up in the little porch area here, unbeknownst to Lemon Squad.
That's going to be a very strong position. If he just looks over to where Archer is, he's going to take him down. He's poking up his head a lot. So far, he seems to just be holding his position, maybe waiting for Woods to kind of link up, get to a slightly better position before they start making some noise again.
This is so interesting. I don't think Archer is going to be peeking here at all for this Kensai position, but he is easily fragged. Oh, Archer loses his head, and that's an instant down. Kensai finds Spike too, a huge double.
That's exactly what they need. That's evened it up, and I don't think they'll expect this mad rotation. Woods 43 way in the eastern side now, coming all the way from the other side of the map. Geeka and Polyspill both trained on the western side. They won't expect this, though Geeka is being cautious. Being very careful now, peeking this eastern car. He needs to pre-fire Geeka's spot or he's going to lose his head. He does pre-fire and he gets a headshot onto Geeka. That's just going to leave Polyspill up now. This is a 2v1. Beginners have a high chance of taking this round, of near guaranteed chance almost.
Yep, they do indeed. Polis is really sandwiched here. He has some options to move and push up and maybe flank Woods if he wants to get aggressive with it, but with the last one alive, he's got to be sitting and dialed in on objective, and that's exactly what he's doing. It's a good spot to hold objective.
Indeed, you could because the bush isn't there anymore. There is a little bit less cover from the eastern side, though. It does kind of free you up as well. You can look over towards the east more, not have to worry about people sneaking up from the objective. You don't have to look at the floor anymore, looking through gaps in the bush. It does just kind of free you up from looking at the floor, lets you look up a little bit. Polyspill, I think he heard Woods here. I definitely think he did.
I think Woods might have heard Polis! He peeks out and catches him. Kensai doesn't push up with him. We're into a 1v1. I don't think Polis is ready for Kensai over here, though.
I don't think so. He really should, though. He does peek out and he gets punished because of it. He didn't expect him there, and that was his downfall.
Kensai MVP'd that round hard, grabbing 3 kills. Saved that push over there.
I think he made up for his self-nade.
Yeah. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, and I mean, beginner's slow play strategy is working well against Lemon Squad for the most part. You know, we saw it pay off on Bazaar. They went fast and slow, and I mean that throws off a team entirely. And then here, down to 55 seconds left, and I mean just utilizing their time effectively and trying to maybe force the sort of panicked defense strategy, you know, where you try and catch members out as they're rotating around to defend the objective. I assume that's what beginners are going for. It does seem to be paying off, and Lemon Squad maybe need to adapt to that and just hold their angles more.
Yeah. One of the main components of Onward kind of high-level play really is that you need to be adaptable. Like beginners, boss fight, Globak and SMC, they all do it so well. Danglers as well. Almost forgot Danglers. Yep. They do kind of do that adaptability so well. Globak being the kings of it, being that almost all of their plans are made up on the spot by Pants. So if you can just kind of leech off that, try and get that adaptability, make sure people don't know what you're doing or how you're doing it, then it works out really well regardless of if you do slow or fast play. Like kind of doing the slow play with unpredictability, it can be very difficult to actually find that balance.
I don't think my ass is going. I haven't checked the angles, but
Moral's talking about something, don't know what he's doing, but he's moving over towards that western side, and there's a lot of pre-fire, as usual, from beginners.
You know, that lane is almost always shot through, and I don't think I've seen anybody get tagged yet. So, I mean, it is just like, I got to do it because maybe I'll get somebody, but I think teams at this point are pretty savvy on that lane getting shot at.
That was a beautiful nade, but I'm more interested in Woods 43, his position right here. This is a potentially devastating one if Lemon Squad doesn't expect it.
And then I was going to go on that post you're on.
Look at that position, behind the fences, in the shade, next to 2 big trees. That's not really going to be one they expect, and Kensai as well. He's pushing aggressively into playground.
Look at Smoils, he's sandwiched up in here between these 2 wedges. I don't think I've ever seen anyone push up here and defend, and he's tossing out a nade, might catch out 2. No, just a bit too far on the other side of the barrier, and Caltrop and Guiki are safe.
Oh no, that nade almost got Polyspill. It almost fell off of the roof straight onto his head. That would have been unfortunate, but this is an aggressive defense from beginners, and I think it's going to work out well for them.
Yes, indeed. And I feel like Smoils was in a good spot, but now he's rotated off of that little forward position and back into a more meta spot behind the barrier. I think Caltrop saw him rotate there too. Yep, it's coming in. Wow, how does that air burst not hit him?
That was astoundingly close. If they throw another one here, I don't think Smalls will survive it. I hope they've run out, otherwise Smalls is about to get decimated, painted onto the floor. This is looking a little bit like a beginner's push, really. They're smoking out the western side.
Very reminiscent as Smoils catches out. Guico rotating around. Maybe they thought they had fragged him with the air burst.
Most likely. We also have pushes coming in from center as well. Well, he's an attempted one. Smalls is out of there.
Dude.
He wants no part.
That rotation from Smoils was awesome. Taking that smoke, rotates around through it, and now he's tucked into a spot that nobody's going to be looking for him over here on the west. I mean, Caltrop is not going to be ready for Smoils in that balcony area, in that patio area.
Definitely won't. That was an incredible rotation. You can see he's just walking straight past it, and he gets taken by Sinkas instead. He's the one that takes him down. We also have a push coming out from center from Bacon. Looks like Sinkas is also going to be the one ready for that one. Bacon's got to be careful if he wants to stay alive here. He does take down Woods. It's only down though. He's going to be called out a lot, and that's going to be shots coming from Killinger to try and take him down. And Bacon gets C4'd by Sinkas. The C4 kills him. It works out perfectly. Beautiful.
I think Woods called that out. He said, shoot now, shoot now. I don't know if he was calling for the explosion of the C4, but either way, it works for beginners, and Smoils wraps up the round. They take the lead 2-0. They're riding that momentum.
They definitely are. And I gotta say, I'm loving the C4 strat so far. We saw it with the downfall. We see it on here now to much effect, taking down Bacon in the center. I think we're gonna see more and more C4 as people find good locations to spot it, and maybe eventually there'll be a bit of a drop-off once people know to check these certain spots, check the walls, check the ceiling, check the floor. But sometimes you get kind of blindsided regardless, and it could be a big thing in the meta of Onward in the later years. Maybe in Onward 2 as well.
Hey. I feel like it's I'm worried that the more we mention Onward 2, it's like gonna be kind of like a Half-Life thing. The further it gets pushed back to us seeing it.
Dante started it. He called it Onward 2 first, publicly in a stream. So that means, actually, that means it'll never get released. If the creator says the name, he's got the same curse as me. That means it'll never come out. I didn't start the fire. Trust me, I didn't.
I think you did.
I'm sorry. If you have any complaints, please direct them to Dakin or NightFiree. They are my wranglers.
I want no responsibility over you.
If beginners can get a cap here on this following round, this
man, that would be this objective too. If you get the right smokes and the right picks, it's very doable.
Yeah. Lemon Squad is still happy though. Caltrop, I don't know what it is about him, but he managed to keep morale up all the time on his team. And I see a C4 on Polisville.
That will be exciting.
That's going to stop any push if it's used correctly, or any fast push.
Dude, I wonder if you can get it up to that tree early enough.
Oh, Caltrop, that was perfect.
No, sorry, yeah, Caltrop rotated around there, and I think they tried to throw the C4 over the fence. Maybe not, I don't know, it's on the fence there.
Yes, he did detonate it. Caltrop detonated that C4, took down Sinkus and finished him off.
Are you sure? Because I don't know, C4 is buggy. I'm seeing some C4s, some nades coming out towards Caltrop.
Telling you there's some right there.
Member of Lemon Squad was picked off on that far eastern side by Smoil. Was very effective with that SA-80, and Caltrop's in a dangerous spot right now. He's literally a meter away.
I've never seen that spot where Woods is.
It's a strong one, and here goes Killinger around the corner, but unfortunately he gets tag teams by Archer and Caltrop at the same time, and now Woods is going to be getting looked for by Caltrop. Maybe he's going to be backing off. Looks like he's out of there. A good move from Caltrop.
Beginners maybe going to be handing this one to Lemon unless Smoils can keep catching shots over here on the east.
I think it's going to be the Lemons that take this, because Archer, he's being so aggressive, beginners won't expect it. He's up at the center house.
Yeah, but he did take some shots out there, and Woods and Kensai instantly reacting to that.
Being very careful, checking the center, almost calling it the center hotel. It's a center house.
I know, yeah.
No real reason to check it, but it is worth it anyway. A few miscellaneous nades coming over to lane 1 as well. I'm not going to do anything. But maybe Woods are going to rotate, try and deal with this mad flanker.
Yeah, I think he's kind of interested in pushing this middle house here. If he does, I highly doubt he's going to be ready for Archer on the 2-story, and I think he's going to back off.
Yeah, they want no part of this. They still do have plenty of time for any maneuvers they may want to do, especially Smoles up here by the silver car. He could just spray through, take down Geeker if he wants to, but I don't think I'll expect him to be in such a strange position behind that kind of concrete barrier and the fence at the same time. Oh, that nade. It's high, but it could be good. Goes way too far, unfortunately. It would have been perfect, but they are starting to get the smokes in now. A little bit of a failed one from Woods, and Archer most likely going to be coming in for the flank very shortly. They're starting to, with this push here. Kensai's moving up to the smoke. Woods trying to relocate them. We're going to get these on point. This will be a perfect cross for them right now. Kensai is making his way across. He was spotted almost. Gets taken down by
Archer on the back.
Oh no,
Archer is completely behind this beginner's squad. He's going to catch 3 here.
He will. He takes down Smalls almost. He's looking at, he missed the shot, but he does go to Kensai, takes down Smalls, double kill. And he's looking for Woods now. He's going to be looking for him. He fails to see him, and it's Woods instead that takes him down. That was so good though. That flank was perfect. Oh, Woods is under fire.
Can't handle it as Caltrop picks him off, and Lemon Squad hang in there. They're not letting this series roll over. They're not going to let this thing go 4-0 again.
They are definitely not. Man, that flank, if they can do more of that, I think they can take Suburbia in the match. I honestly think they can, because that was such a strong play. You can't expect something like that coming out from a team. Going to the center house for so long and then coming out just as they start their push, that was perfectly timed, I think.
I mean, I don't know if that's Archer just getting more comfortable as they progress to the series. Maybe he's not so worried about losing. I think maybe you're right. Caltrop motivating him there properly. I don't know, but that was an excellent move from him. That was so savvy to just stay there and stay disciplined, wait for the rotation, and then just completely slam into the backside of him.
I think it may be just because I think the league teams in general get a little bit scared of flanking sometimes, except for like say Blaze, Global M. Those people, they don't care. They're not scared. They love it. But I think EU teams especially, they do get a little bit scared of flanking, though. It is such a strong part of Onward. It can kind of trip you up. You think, oh, I'm too far away from the team. I'm on Volk. I shouldn't be doing this. I should be defending the objective. I know I at least get a lot of just guilt from flanking. So I need to just make sure I'm on objective, or I'm in a state of mind where I don't care. And I'm feeling really good about this flank. And I think that's exactly what happened to Archer just there.
Need one of your patented Buxton interviews to get inside the mind of the player.
Yeah, will. Maybe you'll see it during next week, the new episode of VR Respawn, whenever it comes out next week. Have to wait and see. But night vision shield coming out from Caltrop here. Is that also going to mean a pistol with a laser? Yes, it will. That's a deadly combination. They're gonna have to be careful of Caltrop.
That's the new turret meta.
Yes, that's the Raphael maneuver.
Fast moves from Lemon Squad using that shield, keeping it up head high. Killinger comes in, tries to take the shots onto the shield, and they do eventually are successful. The nade comes out, might catch Guika as well on the corner. It does, but that's going to be Resable.
Both kills Resable, but a perfect nade from Geeka takes down Killinger. That must have been a high one. I didn't even see it come in.
I didn't either.
Oh, and a confirmation nade. That's perfect. That is perfect, that confirmation. It takes down Killinger, finishing him off. Gonna be looking for the revive from Caltrop.
Look at Woods.
Oh no. It confirms Caltrop. And he could be a devastating force for beginners right now. If he goes on a flank here, he's gonna kill 3. 2 maybe.
No, it's up to Bacon. He should have heard these footsteps here on the other side of the wood. He is looking for him, and Woods is inside the house. He's gonna be coming up against Archer. He catches him around this little doorway. And now he's trying to pull off an Archer here. He's trying to flank.
This is a very risky play, but it's going to work out so well unless the call comes out from Bacon.
Bacon should hear him behind him. He turns and burns, hits him.
Actually, kill at the same time. He shot. They were lined up with each other, so Bacon had to shoot both of them if he wanted to kill the flanker. That's just poor luck. There's no way he could have avoided that, really. Now it's just these two against 3 members of beginners with no utility left. This is going to be an uphill battle. Maybe we'll see a nade coming out from Sinkers. We are seeing one, but it goes way too far. Not going to do anything.
Yeah, this 2v3. Unsure how it's going to go. Not really favoring Lemon Squad here.
Right now.
If Polis can catch out Smoils, it will be a different story, though. And Polis is very dialed in over here onto the Smoils position.
Smoils, however, is aware of Polisbill's location. He called him out. He's ready for it. He's just spraying him. But neither of them catch each other.
I think I think this body is soaking bullets.
I think it is. Is that what's going on right here?
I legitimately think Polis is still alive because bullets are hitting the body in front of him. I have no idea if that's right, but it definitely heard impact, like several impact hits onto that body in front of him.
That would make sense, but you're getting the smoke, and Polisbill does unfortunately go down from Smalls, and Bacon gets picked up at the exact same time. And Beginners, they do take that round. They are looking strong on Suburbia.
Indeed,
I think they can take this.
Yeah, they're going into the Marsoc offensive. It is Lemon Squad's time to answer back, grab themselves a Volk round, and then maybe try and mount an offensive of their own. But yeah, Beginners are looking strong here. They've been playing very well. They 5-0'd, 5-1 on Bazaar, or 5-0? 5-1 on Bazaar. They could do the same thing here.
It could indeed, though. It'll have to be a very, very good cap, because that is the burning objective. Lemon Squad, they will do everything in their power to prevent the cap. I think they may even play quite aggressively on the defense just to make sure that doesn't happen. They'll put everyone in the courtyard, the playground, maybe. I'm getting kind of a feel of that. If there's one thing that Lemon Squad doesn't want, it's another 5-1. They are Beginners, but a 5-1 still hurts.
And I mean, this would be really, really good for Beginners. They need a really nice, strong MMR boost. And if they can grab this win pretty handedly, yeah, it's definitely going to help push them up. I think that early map loss, obviously 4-2, it does sort of throw that in a little bit of a funk. But taking that last one 5-1, if they can hit this one 4-1 or 5-1, yeah, they're going to be looking good. I don't know how close they are between Globochem and themselves and MMR. I'm
not entirely sure, certain either, though. I believe it is about 30 MMR difference. Because I believe it was 20 MMR difference, rather, because they were 10 MMR behind previously, and now they obviously lost 10 from losing to Globochem.
So maybe they'll be back into another situation. Maybe that would be real interesting to have another. Well, I guess we can't have that, huh? Globochem and Beginners would never face off again unless we see them in the playoffs.
So are we going?
I hope we do see them in the playoffs. That will be good to see.
Yeah, indeed.
Do need more information about when those are happening. We do have the VR Master League website link in the Twitch description, and of course, there should be information on that page. If Dakin's updated it yet, I hope you do, Dakin. Hope you updated it already. I see you in the chat. But this is an aggressive defense from Lemons, but it's not working out as Seacast gets an early headshot onto Caltrop. This smoke could be devastating for them.
All kinds of smokes here. Guika is pushing up into the playground area, and he will be able to take a forward defensive position, but obviously they're going to be ready for that. Polis in a bit of gunshots everywhere, people falling left and right. Bike catches one. He might be able to get Sinkdas in the back. That's a double. Lemon Squad into a 2v2 with 5 minutes, 20 seconds left.
That's perhaps the fastest round of a beginner's match I think I've ever seen. Only 40 seconds, and there's already 6 people dead. It looks like Lemon Squad are looking to be a little bit more careful now, though. They should probably bring in that guy from the center house just to reinforce this defense, but they are looking good. I don't think that they're going to be too worried about any caps now. Going to be a bit too dangerous for Beginners to actually try for one.
Oof. Yeah, hold objective tight. Keep your eyes on the prize and just go for the
one
the
guy.
tight defensive win.
Oh no,
here.
Woods does just tag Archer. He got way too aggressive wandering about in the beginner's side of the map for some reason. Maybe hope there was someone sitting behind the bush there, but they are way in spawn.
I think he was feeling good. After his last flank, it did pay off very well, but beginners, like we've said, are a team that adapts. And they adapted to the push that they saw come out of Archer.
And that was an incredible angle from Woods there as well, getting in from the side of the building. Again, Geeka wandering too far and he just gets too aggressive with it. And that causes beginners to actually take that map as a whole. And they win the series.
Yeah. 4-1, dominating style. What a series from beginners. It was not looking good. I'll say that. It did not start off looking good for them.
Yeah, it definitely didn't. But I think they really pulled themselves together on Downfall. The Caps, that was a huge morale boost. They just started feeling good after that. And they rode that momentum all the way home.
They did not let the foot off the gas pedal, I think's the saying there, as they drove home. What's the total score?
The total score is 11-6. Lemon Squad taking home that 6 points.
That's a solid win.
That's definitely a solid win for beginners, though. I don't think Lemon Squad is going to be too unhappy with that. Maybe they will be kicking themselves a little bit over the caps on Bazaar, but overall, with a new player on their team, I think that is a solid, respectable score against a team such as beginners, the number 2 team in the world.
Yeah. You gotta be feeling good there, because like we were saying earlier, Lemon Squad were looking very on point. They looked fantastic on Downfall, very coordinated, and I just don't think we really saw as tight a coordination on Bazaar. It could have been a possibility, but yeah, that was a really great series to watch. I thought it was going to be a beginner's blowout, and we sort of got that in the end, but I don't know. Lemon Squad were right there fighting tooth and nail.
Yeah, absolutely. And the rounds themselves were also very close between the two teams. Like that last round, for example, though it may have been 4-1 on the score, that was still a 2v1, 2v2 on that final round. So the scores can be deceptive. It's closer than it appears. Maybe teams will underestimate them in future due to that, but you've got to look out for Lemon Squad nowadays. They're certainly not a team to be trifled with. Man, what a series. But after that, we should have some more matches coming up later in tonight. Let's take a look at the maps we have here today, or the matches we have later on today. We have Amber House versus Legionnaires. That is a challenge match. Me and Noman are casting that. That'll be a good one for sure. And we also have Ember versus Tactical Illuminati with Sleepy at 1 AM GMT tonight. So, it should be exciting. If you need more information, you can go to that VR Master League site in the Twitch description. Do you have any words, NightFiree?
No, I was going to say tomorrow too is pretty Sunday is pretty filled with action. 4 games then as well. So a lot of Onward to come up. A lot of good stuff. A lot of good games. It's fun times to be casting and watching league matches.
Indeed it is. But that's going to be all from us for now. That will be it from me, NightFiree. Goodbye, everyone.
Adios.